Okay, dear students, observe the question. Solve the following inequation by using graphical method. Okay, there it is. X square minus 7x plus 6 greater than 0. This is the inequation. Okay, x square minus 7x plus 6 greater than 0 is the inequation. Now for this inequation you have to find the solution set of x. The solution set of x. That means the values of x, the real values of x satisfying the inequation, the set of real values of x satisfying the inequation is called solution set. Now we have to find the solution set according to the graphical representation for this expression, for this inequation. Okay, that's why x is related to the real number set. Okay, that's why you have to collect the real numbers which satisfy this inequation. That's why let us consider the given expression f of x. Let f of x is equal to x square minus 7x plus 6. So this is the expression taken as f of x. Okay, so this is taken as y, since x is input, that is domain, and f of x is range. That's why f of x considered as a small y. That's why from the given condition here is y is greater than 0. Y is greater than 0. Since from the given inequation we have to consider x square minus 7x plus 6 is expression, then y greater than 0. That is the inequation. Now we have to take the values of x which is satisfying the inequation y greater than 0. Okay, so generally we have to take some real values, real numbers, that is f of minus 1, that is 1 plus 7 plus 6, 14 is equal to y. That's why it is positive. That's why minus 1 satisfy this inequation such that y greater than 0. Minus 1 satisfy this inequation such that y greater than 0. Now we have to take f of 0, that is 6. So y is greater than 0. 6 is positive. 6 is above 0, that is positive. That's why 0 satisfying this inequation such that y greater than 0. 0 is satisfying this inequation such that y greater than 0. Now f of 1, that is 1 minus 7 plus 6, that is 0. So y is equal to 0. That's why here it is 1 is not satisfying the inequation such that y greater than 0. Are you clear? For y greater than 0, 1 is not satisfied this inequation. That's why here it is y is equal to 0. Now f of 2, here it is 2 is 4 minus 14 plus 6, that is minus 4. So y is negative. So 2 is also not satisfying this inequation. Okay, and f of 3, that is 9 minus 21 plus 6, that is minus 6. So here also y less than 0. So here 3 not satisfying this inequation. Now f of 4, that is 16 minus 28 plus 6, that is also minus 6. Y less than 0. Okay. Now f of 5, that is 25 minus 35 plus 6, that is minus 4. So which is less than 0. Okay, which is less than 0. Now f of 6, that is 36 minus 42 plus 6, that is 0. So y is equal to 0. That's why here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are not satisfy this inequation. These are not satisfy this inequation such that y greater than 0. Now f of 7. What is f of 7? That is 49 minus 49 plus 6. That is 6. So y, which is greater than 0. That's why 7, for x is equal to 7, satisfy the inequation. X is equal to 7, satisfy the inequation such that y is greater than 0. Now f of 8, 64 minus 56 plus 6, that is 14. So it is y is greater than 0. That's why 8 is also satisfying this inequation. That means below 1, what are below 1? 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, these are all satisfying this inequation such that y is greater than 0. And above 6, what are above 6? 7, 8, 9, 10, so on, all real numbers above 6 satisfying this inequation such that y is greater than 0. Are you clear or not, all of you? From this representation, we have to identify, it is very clear, below 1, all the values below 1, all the real numbers below 1, excluding 1, at 1 it is not satisfying. Below 1, all the real numbers below 1 satisfying this inequation, and all the real numbers above 6 satisfying this inequation. Now we have to draw the graph for this one. Now from this, observe, here it is, here we have to take, that's all. So this is x-axis, take the values of x on x-axis, and values of f of x on y-axis, the values of f of x on y-axis. Now the values of x on x-axis, so domain belongs to the x-axis, and that means range belongs to the y-axis. Now here it is 0, here it is 1, here it is 2, here it is 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, and it is 7 and 8. That's all. On x-axis we have to take, on x-axis. Now here this is minus 1, right? Observe, for x is equal to minus 1, y is positive. Above x-axis is positive. Here it is 40. Here it is 40. X is equal to 0. At 6, here it is, meet at 6. And at x is equal to 1, it is 0. At x is equal to 2, it is minus 4. X is equal to 2, it is minus 4. Right? And at x is equal to 3, it is minus 6. At x is equal to 4, it is, at x is equal to 4, it is minus 6. At x is equal to 3 is it is minus 6, and at x is equal to 6 is it is also minus 6. Right? And for x is equal to 5, it is minus 4. For x is equal to 6, it is 0. X is equal to 7, it is 6. For x is equal to 8, it is 14. That's all. Now this is the graph. This is the graph of this one. Okay? This is the graph. Observe. That's all. Now this is the graph. Right? This is the graph. At 6, at 14. That's all. So here observe, here it is intersect the x-axis at 1 and 6. But the curve is, according to the given condition, the inequation is positive. The inequation is positive at below 1. The inequation is positive at below 1. That means it is x less than 1. And again, the inequation is positive at above 1. Above 6, x greater than 6. At above 6 it is positive, at below 1 it is positive. Okay, at above 6, x greater than 6. At x greater than 6 it is positive. X less than 1 it is negative. At x less than 1 it is positive. At x greater than 6 it is positive. That means this is positive area. This part is positive area. This part is positive area. And this part is positive area. That's why the solution set for x satisfy the equation, that is below 1 and above 6. So this is the negative part. This is negative part. That's why here the inequation not satisfied. That means the values of x does not lies between 1 and 6, including 1 and 6. Does not lies between 1 and 6, including 1 and 6. That's why here f of x is, that means the given inequation does not exist these values. What are the values? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, since at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At these values it is negative. That's why. So this is the restricted area. This is the restricted area for this expression, for this inequation. That's why this inequation is positive only when x less than 1 and x greater than 6. That's why we have to take the values of x satisfying the inequation such that the real numbers which are below 1 or above 6. That's why all the real numbers below 1 and above 6 satisfy this inequation. Since from the given expression here x square minus 7x plus 6 greater than 0 means what? Here it is x minus 1 into x minus 6 greater than 0. So we know the concept. What is that concept? We know the concept, that is the intervals concept, intervals of inequations. Intervals of inequations concept is very, very important for this question actually. Intervals of inequation. What is the concept of intervals of inequation? There are 4 conditions. 4 conditions are there. If x minus alpha, x minus beta less than 0, then the value of x lies within the interval alpha and beta. If x minus alpha, x minus beta greater than 0, then the value of x does not lies between alpha and beta. This is second type. And one more. If x minus alpha, x minus beta less than or equal to 0, then the value of x lies within the interval alpha and beta, including alpha beta. And if x minus alpha, x minus beta greater than or equal to 0, then the value of x does not lies between alpha beta, excluding alpha beta. That's why observe, this is the depends upon the condition. What is the condition? Where alpha is always less than beta. For alpha is always less than beta. For alpha less than beta, if x minus alpha into x minus beta greater than 0, then x less than alpha, or x greater than beta. That means here x belongs to open minus infinity to alpha union open beta to infinity. Are you clear? That means this can be right r minus of closed alpha beta. So according to this condition, here x minus 1 into x minus 6 greater than 0 represents x less than 1 or x greater than 6. x less than 1 or x greater than 6. That's why here x belongs to open minus infinity to 1 union open 6 to infinity. That's why x belongs to R minus of closed 1 and 6. That's why this concept is very, very important since more number of competitive questions depends upon this concept. So, in more than one option question, this is one option, this is one option. Both the options are correct. Are you clear? That's why. So, this is the graphical representation or graphical method of the solution set of inequation or solution of an inequation. Solution of inequation. Since here at 3 it is 6, at 4 it is 6, at 3 it is 6, at 3 it is 6 and at 4 it is 6. That's why the curve is stable at 3 and 6. The curve is stable at 3 and 6. Are you clear? That's why observe the given expression x square minus 7x plus 6 greater than 0, where coefficient of x square is positive. If the coefficient of x square is positive, then the expression is upward parabola. If the coefficient of x square is positive, then the expression is upward parabola. If the coefficient of x square is negative, then the expression represents downwards parabola. That's why this is a mixed conceptual question. That means related to the quadratic expressions and equations and parabola and geometry, senior intergeometry. That's why. So, this is the solution set of this inequation. Are you clear? So, observe here below 1, that means all the numbers, all the real numbers below 1 satisfy this inequation. Since this inequation is positive, we have to find the set of real numbers which is satisfying the inequation. Those satisfy the condition that is y greater than 0. Y greater than 0. That's why the values, the set of values of x which are below 1 and above 6. Below 1, not 1, yet 1 it is 0. This is not satisfying the curve. This is not satisfying the inequation. What is the inequation? Strictly y greater than 0. Strictly y greater than 0. Strictly y greater than 0. But at 1 it is 0. Since the curve intersects the x-axis at 1, means y is 0. But required above 1. That's why excluding 1, below 1 satisfy the inequation, and excluding 6, above 6 satisfying the inequation. Are you clear, all of you? That's why the solution set for this inequation is the set of real numbers, all the set of real numbers except this interval, that is closed 1 to 6, except in between the closed 1 to 6, remaining all real numbers, all the set of real numbers satisfy the inequation except the closed 1 to 6. Are you clear? That's why this is the prohibited area, since this is below the x-axis. Below the x-axis represents always negative. Above the x-axis represents always positive. Are you clear or not? Above the x-axis is positive and below the x-axis is negative. That's why the given expression is always positive. The given expression is positive. Required given expression is positive. When it is positive, definitely the values of x below 1 or above 6 according to the concept. That's why this is algebraic method, this is graphical method. This part is algebraic method, This part is algebraic method. This part is graphical method. The two are mixing concepts. That means below 1, just we have to verify the below 1 values. You have to take any real number below 1. You have to take any real number below 1. Satisfy the inequation. Satisfy the inequation. You have to take any real number below 1, not 1. 1 does not satisfy the inequation. You have to take any real number below 1, satisfy the inequation. You have to take any real number above 1, above 6, satisfy the inequation. That's why this is the very important concept. Are you clear? According to the graphical representation. That's why the graph is upwards parabola. The below the downwards, below x-axis is negative, above x-axis is positive. That's why the given expression is positive. From the given inequation, the values, the set of real numbers below 1, set of real numbers above 6, satisfy this inequation. That's why this is the solution set. What is the solution set? X belongs to open minus infinity to 1, union open 6 to infinity, or all the real numbers satisfying this inequation except closed 1 to 6. That's why in between 1 to 6 it is below the x-axis, it is negative. So below 1 and above 6 it is above the x-axis, then it is positive. That's why all the set of values of set of real number set of below 1 and above 6 satisfy the inequation. That is the solution set. Okay, that's all right.